Welcome to a brand new year of Glittery Podcasts and the very first episode of Glittery Goodness for 2026. It is so lovely to see you. We have a bit of a new format around these parts this time, so instead of this being a little bit of a shorter podcast, you're going to have multiple things all in one thing. So this week we are talking about that America's Next Top Model documentary. We're going to dive into some Winter Olympics stuff. And of course, I'm going to give you my recommendations of all things pop culture while I've been away. So we're going to do things a little differently though, because we're going to have a music section and a podcast section separately. They are no longer one combined culture list. Welcome to a brand new year. It is so wonderful to see you. Let's dive straight in and let's talk about some music. First on my music list is the brand new single from Mr. Gojo, Mr. Milkman himself. It is supersonic. This is an absolute banger and I love it. The music video is also really well done considering he shot it in a day. Like, crazy. He has done such a wonderful job with this song. It is such a pump-up anthem. I love it. Highly recommend that one. It is really, really great. And in an Aussie music throwback, we have the Rogue Traders are back with their first single in 15 years. It's called Take You Down. And this one is very much in the vein of what they are known for. It is throbby, clubby. It is absolutely great. I love Nat Bass as a vocalist, so I am very glad to have some new Rogue Traders music because I was a huge Rogue Traders fan when I was younger, so this is very exciting for nostalgic Ross at the moment. And then I have to talk about two more songs. First of all is the song that everybody is talking about. It is, of course, Meek with Fabulous. This song is everywhere at the moment, but for bloody good reason, because it is so empowering and just anthemic. It's huge. The whole EP that is around this song is also really great. I'm excited for more from Meek because this is right up my street. It is camp, it is loud, it is bold, and it is proud, and I am here for it. Special shout out to a title on the sort of single EP of I Want Love But Not That Much. Wow. What a title. And finally, I want to talk about a new music leak. Well, kind of, because I want to talk about the song that everybody thought was Harry Styles' first single from Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. No, not Aperture. It is Love Arcade by Jackson Lard, because there was a fan account that spread this all over the internet in snippet form as if it was Harry's new single. This is such a fun disco song. I love this so much. He's done a great job, and I hope the free press from the Harry fans has helped because I really, really like this song. I highly recommend it. You can find all of the songs probably somewhere on screen by now. If not, I will have a post over on socials with all the music from this episode so you can go and find it wherever you get your music. Because sharing is caring, right? Let's talk about some podcasts. Up first, it's two BBC podcasts, and the first is a bit of a blast from the past because I'm pretty sure I spoke about this podcast in one of the very first episodes of Glittery Goodness because it was just so damn intriguing. There are brand new episodes of The Missing Crypto Queen, which is the story of Dr. Ruja and OneCoin and her disappearance and what exactly has happened to her. Now, I won't spoil where the new episodes go, but all I can say is this story has more twists and turns than you can poke a vending machine out? I was trying to think of something to do with coins. This story has stuck around for so long, and will they ever find her? I don't know. But these episodes were quite interesting. I was very much tuned in to see where they would go. And speaking of episodes and podcasts that I was on the edge of my seat for, I have to tell you about the new season of Intrigue, which is also by the BBC. And this is about what happened when a Finnish therapy platform had their data leaked. And this is not only topical because our lives are more online than ever before, but this broke my heart because the poor people of Finland who are using this platform, which I'm not going to try and pronounce because I may be learning Swedish, but my Finnish is not that good, so I'm not even going to attempt. But having their data leaked it's the worst nightmare, isn't it? And hearing some of these stories really breaks your heart. But I think it's important to hear the fallout and what happened to the person that did it. Oh boy, it is a real journey and I highly recommend it. It's really well reported. A lot of those investigative BBC podcasts are really, really well done. This one, though, in particular has stuck out to me lately. And the last podcast recommendation for this episode comes to us from The Binge. It is The Crimes of Margot Freshwater. Now, I haven't finished this one yet, so I can't give you an ending analysis, but this one is really interesting. This is about Margot Freshwater and how she went on the run. And it chronicles the story and her crimes and the whole shebang. And it's really interesting because she hid for, I think, like 30 years. And this is the first time she sat down and did an interview properly like this. So this is a really interesting look at one person's life, essentially, from when she escaped prison and moving forward. So highly recommend this one. It's really well done by the Binge team. After the break, we will get into that ANTM documentary. I'll see you in a second. Welcome back. Shall we talk about some top model? Oh boy, where do we start? In case you've been living under a rock, the whole internet is ablaze because Netflix released a documentary as part of their reality check series on America's Next Top Model. And lo and behold, who would speak but Miss Tyra Banks herself. And what did she say, you might ask? Well, really, a whole lot of nothing. Miss Tyra, I understand you're the figurehead and yes, you had control. Maybe you didn't have all the control. But unfortunately, madam, it's your show. Your name is on this show. And with all due respect, because I do think you're an icon, you needed to take more accountability, is the TLDR of this documentary. I do think it was really interesting from the perspective of we saw more of moments that have become memes, like that we're all rooting for you, like we saw a lot more around that. We learned what happened with Nigel and the Jays as well, and also seeing their friendship was probably the highlight of the documentary for me because it was very, very wholesome. And unfortunately, we heard of Miss J's stroke as well. But good news is I can give you a little bit of an update. Mr. J, the other J, has spoken since the documentary has come out, and Miss J is now able to walk a little bit again, which is incredible news. For the Queen of the Runway to be able to actually walk again is wonderful news, given the recovery they've had. To be able to be part of the documentary and then be where they are now is lovely to hear. But here's the thing. You cannot tell me that that documentary was not just one big advert for Cycle 25. It is absolutely outrageous to me, that Tyra is pivoting back to Next Top Model, and the way she goes, you have no idea what we have planned for Cycle 25. Like, what? Ma'am, what? I was just like, are you for real right now? You're using this to say we're going again. Which, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's a massive platform. But given the discourse around Top Model, you want to try again? You want to go there again? I mean, to look at this on a flip side, we have had international versions of that show that are still running to this day. Germany's Next Top Model, which was helmed by Heidi Klum, in case you didn't know, has been running for what feels like millennia at this point. So it can be done in a way that is seemingly less controversial than whatever that was. I do think that this documentary, given that I've been listening to a podcast called The Curse of America's Next Top Model, and I actually found that more informative when it came to stories and just kind of insights. However, this documentary was a good visual supplementary to that podcast. So I highly recommend, if you watch the documentary, go and find The Curse of America's Next Top Model wherever you get podcasts, because it is really, really well done. It's very sassy, it's very engaging, but I feel like you get a little bit more meat on the bones than if you were to just watch this Netflix documentary, because it feels a little thin on the ground. While it was great to hear from J. Manuel, Miss J, and Nigel, that was probably the highlight for me, because Tyra was just a big old bag of knowing smile. And when I tell you, my blood boiled when she was like, I'll talk to Jay. If you're saying he's your best friend, pick up the phone. What? Or 3 of your hearts, if you say later on. Like, what are we doing, Miss Banks? It doesn't make any sense. So heaven forbid, we may soon enough be talking about Cycle 25 of America's Next Top Model, so hold on to your hats for that. Will it get a reboot like Project Runway? I guess we'll see. Nostalgia sells, so maybe America's Next Top Model is coming to Netflix. Who knows? I will say, I really did love the edit where they had Tyra speaking and then Danny going, that's bullshit. That fast-paced edit was just fabulous and like tickled something in my fast-paced editing brain. Real big fan. But do go and watch this documentary, because I think it's important less to hear from Tyra, who gives us a whole big bucket of nothing, but more to hear from the Jays and the contestants, especially to hear Shandy's story as well, because that woman is clearly processing everything she went through, and honestly, it's heartbreaking. She should not have had to have gone through that, and she's clearly still dealing with the effects all these years later. It's heartbreaking. And my question to you is, would America's Next Top Model be as successful today if they bring it back? My gut says no, because if you look at the discourse around Project Runway after it finished, and don't get me wrong, I quite enjoyed it. I really loved the sassy lower thirds we got and fun things like that. And apparently it's been renewed, so we're going to go back to that later in the year. But I think it started with a splash and then ended with a whimper. And the discourse I saw online was a lot of people were like, what the hell is this? So I wonder if America's Next Top Model could suffer the same fate, even though I know from what I was reading, Tyra apparently wants to do a new season to right some wrongs. But is it really necessary? Do we need the reboot? Stick to your ice cream, love. I think you're better off. But let's switch gears and talk about some Winter Olympics, because it's time to head to Milano. Now, I'm pretty sure I predicted to you that this would happen again, but I have found a new sport that I am utterly enthralled with. Move over, wheelchair rugby. Curling has won over my heart. Never would I have thought that I would be so enthralled by essentially the ice version of lawn bowls. But here we are. I have had so much fun watching curling this Winter Olympics. Watching Italy and I think it was Norway particularly sticks out in my mind, because they were all getting very heated with each other, and there was a married couple and they were losing their minds at each other, and it was quite entertaining to watch. And then, of course, we have Canada's scandal with the Did They Push the park? And I think the answer is yes, if you look at the footage. I don't know how a sport that is so simple has totally captured my imagination. However, speaking of something that is deceptively simple that really caught my eye, and I have also kind of fallen in love with it too, is the speed skating. Never in my life did I think skating could be so high octane and enthralling. I watched the whole of, I think it was like the first trials of the men's doubles. Oh, sorry, the men's pairs. And that was really, really fascinating. I ended up watching that with my father, and it's a memory that I will hold on to because we were both just sat there like, whoa, okay. Really, really great to see these hardcore sports people do what they do best. I'm not a sporty person, but my God, it's motivating to go, maybe I need to take up some sport, because it just, not only do they look like they're really there to do a job, but to see the satisfaction after they either win or do better than they expected is really, really lovely. Gotta tell you, check out some of the Winter Olympic sports. I'm keeping my eye on some stuff, but we are going to be here probably weekly during the Paralympics, because I really want to deep dive into the Paralympics. And I want to take you on that journey with me. So buckle up, because there might be a few weeks of Paralympic special editions coming your way very, very soon. But there you have it. That is your very first edition of Glittery Goodness in its new streamlined 2026 format for the year. I will see you again very soon with even more pop culture through the glittery lens. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend and leave a 5-star rating whatever podcasting app you're listening to it on, or video platform, because don't forget, we are video on YouTube, Spotify, and soon, in exciting tech news, Apple Podcasts as well. You'll be able to see my face along with my dulcet tones very soon over there as well. So thanks for being here. It's lovely to be back with you. If there's anything you want to see me cover, please leave a comment over on socials or down below the video version if you're watching on YouTube, because I want to talk about what you want to hear me talk about. So let's have fun together. But thanks for being here. Please look after yourself and take care in the meantime. And remember, if today has been difficult, you're not broken, you're just a disco ball. I'll see you soon.